The moment is here, you can stop your search. It's Comics by Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. Yeah, I was listening to Sasha, Casually Comics, if you haven't heard of that channel, and how could you not have? It's a far superior channel to all the other channels, including mine. But really good points. Also, she's got that thing down that the really successful YouTubers do, where they can edit through a sentence and then like, I'm really deep into something, deep. And then they then continues. I'm not describing it well, but anyway, there's some editing in play there that's pretty slick. So good on her. Me, I record my videos in the car while I'm in traffic jams. That's the difference there. At some point when I turn the video on and you can see me talking, it's going to be pretty crazy. It's like just me driving. You know, you have these comic channels always crack me up when people have the background display of their comics and their toys, and they've got all a neat shelf and all the rest of that stuff. And nobody's got the Chuck Austin run of X-Men displayed there. But for me, I'll get it stuck on the dash of the car. I'll just be driving around. I'll be talking, and that will be the video. It'll be like, anyway, I'm going to keep it shitty to the end. That's what we're going to do. Anyway, she was going through some quotes that Tom King had gave prior to his Wonder Woman run. And this is not a bash on Tom King, by the way, because I hear this quote or this sentiment from tons of creators, tons. And they are, I'm always, I don't say bothered, but always comes across as super, super phony for me. And it just so happened that I just got back from a flight and sitting, in my seat, and next to me is I would say that kid like 12 years old, watching Into the Spider-Verse on the plane video, they were doing there, and the kid is clearly enjoying it. And it was such a sort of describe it, just made me feel very happy because I'm looking over there and the kid is smiling and kind of bouncing up and down a little bit and just having a really good ass time through this entire thing, really having a good time. And so I was noticing that the kid really get into this movie, and it wasn't it was the action scenes. It's Miles going no, and he's got to escape, and then there's going to be some really cool animation going on, and it's really cool. And this kid, not that the race matters, kid was white, having zero trouble cheering on Miles. Just throw that out there, and this stuff always comes up like some kind of weird, race category gotcha. But this is just a human being, a child, enjoying a movie and getting excited about it. And in some ways, I'm reaching a little bit here, getting inspired by it. I can see that kid, we have Halloween coming up, wanting to dress like Miles Morales, and then being told by your parents, you can't dress like him, and you can't, white kid can't dress in a black superhero costume. You're going to be racist if you do that. Anyway, remember that meme that went out there for a while of it showed a white kid and the white family, and they're buying all the Black Panther merchandise at Target, and the black kids got there like a minute too late. The shelves are all cleared off because all the white kids bought Black Panther. The black kids got a little tear. I'm telling you, we had tons of kids multiple years for Halloween. At no point did any white kid show up in a Black Panther costume. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, that's not what this video is about. Anyway, how am I tying all this to Sasha? Sasha's cringing all over the place. Who am I kidding? She's not listening to this. But she goes over this quote from Tom King, saying one of the motivations for him writing Wonder Woman is that his daughter should look up to Wonder Woman. And there's this, this thing of most people say Wonder Woman doesn't even belong in the Trinity. It's Superman and Batman, and Wonder Woman's kind of the third one. And that shouldn't be. She should stand up on her own, be just as big and as powerful as they are. And, and he wants to do something for his daughter. So his daughter is really inspired by Wonder Woman. Well, here's the thing. For kids, I'm talking 12 and under, that you don't need a deep, inspiring story that has lots of nuance and kind of pithy things that get millennials all excited. You just need some good action and the character being strong and powerful and kicking ass. And with comic books, here's the crazy thing. If you're trying to inspire kids, if that's your goal, young children, then all you need to do is have the character show up and go, I'm a badass, and then pick a building up and launch into space, or, defeat the villain and have an artist there that really makes it look powerful. You do not need to have Wonder Woman fight the patriarchy for your 8-year-old. Now, you may want to do that because that's the story you want to tell, and more power to you, but that's not going to inspire your child. The messages around kind of depth of truth and the layers people go to in Watchmen is not meant to inspire children. There's a reason why, you do not have the comedian showing up as a kid's costume. You don't have, Dr. Manhattan. You don't have like young children wandering around in blue paint naked. Those aren't the characters you're inspired by, nor ever will be, even though the messages in that story are quite complex and, the deconstruction of what a superhero archetype is and all the rest. It's all very well written by Alan Moore, but at no point was Alan Moore writing to inspire children. He's writing to get paid, but also to tell a in-depth story. That's what he was doing. That was the point. And so a lot of this stuff just winds up being kind of, I think a lie. The lie being that we're claiming that we're doing this to inspire children. But in reality, we are not doing it to inspire children. We are doing it to, entertain the adult. That's what we're doing. The child is, for all intents and purposes, irrelevant in these cases. Whenever I hear a writer say it's like, I just want this kid to be inspired by Spider-Man. That's all I want. Cool. Write a good Spider-Man story. You don't have to have, this same thing with Miles. Miles got a kid happy, excited, and inspired because he was doing cool shit. Not because he was, it had anything to do with like, finally, a black guy can be a superhero. There have been black superheroes. And when they do cool stuff, people the kids love it. They get inspired by it. Tom King, you want to write a story about Wonder Woman for your daughter so she thinks, she thinks Wonder Woman's cool, then write Wonder Woman kicking ass. You don't need to write a story explaining that Wonder Woman can kick ass as well as anyone else. You just need to write a story of her kicking ass. That's the bizarre. In so many comics, it almost provides an underlying lack of confidence in the writer's own ideas and own concepts. If, why would you start out with the assumption of, well, some people say that Diana doesn't even belong in the Trinity as Wonder Woman. But who cares what those people say? Does she inspire you? Then screw it. You're done. But just write her. You don't have to justify it. It's like the writers have this built-in insecurity at times where they can't. They're like, I see it a lot with women superheroes and non-white superheroes. The writer comes on almost like, I've got to really explain why these characters are just as good as the white counterparts. Guess what? First of all, the kids are already there. You don't need to write a single word. They're already there. No kid is picking up a copy of Wonder Woman going, I mean, it is a girl. So, she really is not strong enough to, she can't hang with Superman and Batman because she's a girl. But if you're the writer and then you have a 22-page comic and you spend 3/4 of the comic with like talking headshots, no action, and like the various politicians and other people, and this is not what Tom King's issue is like, but he did show her kicking ass for a couple pages, all right? I'm responding to the comment about, needing to, kind of bending over backwards. We got to make the character inspiring. Well, step one, you don't have to justify anything. Just make her kick ass, make her do things. When if you're trying to kind of tell kids, hey, women can be superheroes too, and then you hand them a comic where we get lots and lots and lots of panels of the women saying, yeah, we're just as good as the men. The kids are like, what the hell? I wasn't even thinking that. Can we get to the part where Wonder Woman punches Darkseid in the face? That's what we're into. That's what we'd like. Every time I see, and I've seen, there's a place like Comics Explained and some of these larger YouTube channels, and they'll be like, some people say Wonder Woman doesn't even belong in the Trinity because she's a girl, but I say, screw you guys. Oh, go to hell. If it's such an absurd point, why are you refuting it? Why are you bringing it up? Why are you throwing it into the public consciousness? And so with writers, in a lot of cases, and I saw this go over and over with, for what it's worth, G. Willow Wilson never pulled this shit with Miss Marvel. like your stories or don't like her stories, true statement. You never see things going, well, just because Kamala Khan is brown, it doesn't mean she can't be a superhero. You may, now in your head, you may be like, no, wait a minute, she did. Nope, she did not. She never pulled that. Other writers did. People came in after her and immediately said, well, she's Muslim, so, everybody's saying she can't do anything. So we're going to prove to all those kids that they can be inspired by a Muslim character. And then they write comics of lectures about why she belongs, as opposed to the super obvious thing, having her go out there. It is a superhero book and kick some ass. Now, I'm not saying all comic books have to be two-dimensional. Of course not. They're good when they're layered. They're good when they're three-dimensional. But most importantly, they're good when they're confident. And that's the thing that I noticed that Wonder Woman is missing a lot of lately. In a lot of these reboots and a lot of the launches and a lot of the attempts that they do with Wonder Woman, including, in my opinion, the most recent one, there's this underlying insecurity that comes through in the page. An insecurity that goes, yeah, I know Wonder Woman, nobody really likes her, but they should, because she's great. And she does deserve to be in the trade, just because she doesn't have a penis like Batman and Superman do, with their super dick and bat dick. Just because she doesn't have that, she deserves to be a hero as well. I think the second you go down that path mentally, you're defeating yourself. You're fighting an opponent that doesn't exist or doesn't need to exist. You could just, run with the story, run with the show. There's no reason at all why you need to do this. So, for what it's worth, when you see these quotes come up, we've got to make the character inspiring for children. The correct answer back is, then just make them do something heroic. Just do something. And yeah, fighting the patriarchy, in your opinion, could be heroic. That's fine. Whatever. But if the kid is 8, 9, 10, they want to do what that kid on the plane did. They just want to sit and watch this character doing awesome things, saving the day at the last minute, getting backed into a corner, and then, bam, whips out some new power and is able to swing around and just save the day. That's what kids are after. And if you do that, then you will have an entire generation of kids who will be all into Wonder Woman, who will be happy to dress like her. I'll throw one more point out there. Remember that Wonder Woman movie, the first one? And it did well. People liked it. Do you remember the scene that was the most popular? I'll give you a hint. It was not the end, because the end sucked. It was another CGI monster from that Remus Lupin character from Harry Potter. But no, it was the scene where she marched across the battlefield all by herself. And like people are shooting at her, they're shooting tank shells at her, and she's just fucking taking it on to save the day. It was inspiring. It was cool. At no point did Wonder Woman have to pause and go, you didn't think a woman could do that, did you? She didn't need to. She proved it, which is absolutely the best kind of proof of all. She just did it. She didn't need to tell you that she can do it because you're watching with your own eyes. That was the stuff that got a bunch of girls at Halloween, young kids, young girls, to dress up like Wonder Woman, to want to get the costume, to paint a rope gold. That's what does it. That stuff. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. You just have to show something more or less inspiring. And, a lecture, a TED Talk on, immigration and politics and their relation to feminist values and all that other stuff, that may be inspiring to somebody in their 20s and 30s. Maybe that's what you're after. But don't try and so if that's your audience, cool. Alan Moore owned it for Watchmen and some of the things he did. He never went around saying my real goal is to get kids really inspired by Rorschach. That's what I'm here to do. No. So if that's your goal, then wear it on your sleeve. Just own it. You don't need to, you try and mask your intentions as higher principle just because you're trying to inspire my kids. Anyway, again, these are the little things that bug you when you're driving at, whatever it is, late ass time at night. Nobody in Texas can drive for shit. Anyway, thanks for listening.